This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
We're back to cap off the first 3 Mission Impossible movies on our Cruiser-Palooza. People say Palooza's played out, but I say since we invented Palooza,
Absolutely, yeah.
we should be able to use it whenever we want.
That's right. To death. At the end of every sentence, Palooza. You've done this to yourselves, viewers.
So look, leave a like if you could. We'd really appreciate it because we're rounding things out for now.
Make it a like-a-palooza.
If you could. Yeah, so we're rounding things out. For now, we're going to be coming back to these movies with Mission Impossible 3. And as always, I'm going to be replicating something from each movie. 2 enormous successes as of so far, but I'm going to be doing a physical stunt in this one.
You are going to leap off a very tall building, develop some sort of fulcrum along the way?
Not quite.
Huh.
But there's going to be some action. Let me tell you that much.
Have you done this already?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Not the time of recording this.
Okay, so do you want me to record my reaction at your success and also my reaction at your imminent funeral?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, we'll do those later.
When I went into this movie at the time, I was kind of wondering, are these even anything, these Mission Impossible movies?
Could it be something to do with the fact that maybe we were burned out on the last one?
Absolutely. It was also like 2006. It was the couch jumping cruise era. And
that's
everyone's
right,
like,
yeah.
what's actually wrong with this guy?
Had he recently gotten married, maybe?
Yeah, that was the Katie Holmes thing. Yeah,
Yeah, right,
That was what that was related to. But looking back on this one, I think it's quite good.
There's nary a couch to be jumped on in this movie. It is quite good.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're ending here because we're like, well, this is the end of the ancient history of the Mission Impossible franchise. 2006, can you believe it?
Oh my goodness. Ugh.
Yeah, I think this one's really solid. Like I feel like the work of JJ Abrams generally can be a bit hit and miss.
Yeah.
And speaking of, the style of in previous episodes of this, we talked about the various styles of the directors.
Oh, yeah.
And you know that this is a JJ Abrams movie because his style is bring his mates in, give him a little cameo. Greg
Grunberg, yeah.
Kerry Russell's in this.
It really does feel like him, though, because there's like the color saturation. There's a bit of lens flare stuff. Not too much, but a little bit. There's that heart restart scene, which was borrowed from Lost.
Oh,
that's
okay,
from the first
sure.
season of Lost. Look, I know he does get a lot of flack, but I think he genuinely is a great director. Oh, he can be a great director.
He can absolutely be a great director, yeah. We got some solid action sequences in this.
Yeah.
And not posing action sequences.
No.
Like real solid, like the
They leaned too much into the hair in the last one, didn't they?
Absolutely.
They framed everything around the beautiful
They let
sweeping
the hair
hair.
dictate the action. They were like, let Tom Cruise's hair flow like water and the action will follow. But like the sequence where Hunt is escaping with Kerry Russell.
That's such a good sequence.
The scene where him and Michelle Monaghan team up later and he's dead
That's
and
such
she
a
has
good
to defend
sequence.
him. That's a great action sequence, yeah.
And also, they changed the gunplay so it's not two-hand shooting pistols leaping through the air. He's tactical Ethan Hunt. Like, he's wearing proper tactical gear. The way that he's moving, like, I don't know anything about tactical shooting, obviously, but it feels more like, yeah, this is how you go into this situation. You wouldn't just be doing somersaults and spin kicks and just firing randomly, you know what I mean?
I mean, it worked before, but you're right.
But yeah, maybe in 2002, sure. But you do feel like, I don't want to say more realistic, but it makes more sense this time around than the last one. Do you want to hear a bit about how this movie actually came to be? Because it was it was a bit up and down for a while how this was going to get off the ground and who was going to be involved.
Go on.
So Ang Lee was on board at one point.
Okay.
David Fincher was on board.
Not bad.
Joe Carnahan, which people might know from The Grey and other movies and things like that. He developed.
Or maybe his personal life. Do you know him personally? Maybe you know him from there.
Say hi from us.
Maybe every time you see him, he's like, "Have you seen my new movie?" And you're like, "Sure thing, Joe. I'll get right on that." And you don't. Do I lie or do I tell the truth? Anyway, what were we talking about?
Well, he's mentioned since that if Twitter had been around at the time that he was making this movie, it would have been a Josh Trank Fantastic Four situation. He's like, his career would have suffered like greatly, as a result of him working so long on this and getting a lot of pushback. And
interesting.
He ultimately,
this is Abrams.
No, this is Carnahan. This is Joe Carnahan. He ultimately was saying that his version that he would have made would have been better. That he's quoted as saying.
Oh, hello.
That. Yeah.
Well, I say release the Carnahan cuts.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what that would have looked like, but because he was a younger director at the time, I think the studio was dictating a lot of the moves. There was also talk of this being a prequel and bringing Emilio Estevez back.
Oh my goodness, I would have liked that. But this is still good.
Yeah, and I think also Tom Cruise.
But again, we can still bring him back.
Yes, that's right.
He's just going to be missing some skull fragments.
I think,
or his head will be all skull fragments. Yeah. It's tough to say.
I think Tom Cruise is a little too old to make this a prequel, though. You'd be like, yeah, he's not.
And again, 2006, that de-aging technology was not
No, it certainly wasn't.
not perfect.
You're talking about X-Men 3?
Yeah, I was talking about X-Men 3.
Also, that story with Emilio Estevez, it was going to have elements...
I'm just out of the military academy and I'm so glossy. Sorry, continue.
It was going to have elements that were similar to 9/11. So they were like, maybe we should pull back on this prequel / 9/11 retelling, I guess, whatever we're doing here. Yeah. So JJ Abrams got the job off Tom Cruise watching Alias, gave him a call and said, do you want to do it? Ha ha ha, as Tom Cruise
Absolutely,
does.
sure. But I'm serious. Ha ha
Ha
ha.
ha ha. And this
I'm
was...
saying ha ha ha, but I have no control over it sometimes. But I am serious. Take the job. I will kill you. Ha 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 ha.
But this is JJ Abrams' big movie break. This is
Yeah.
why he's still around, because Tom Cruise gave him the opportunity through Paramount, because Tom Cruise obviously is a huge creative driving force on these movies. That's why JJ Abrams did like Star Trek and new Star Wars and the one with the train monster, E.T., but it's a train monster. Remember that one?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a cracking opening as well and a villain. Phillip Seymore
It
Hoffman.
does. The previous movie had the last one had like the merest shadow of a villain.
A whisper.
Just it's Tom Cruise, but he's evil, I guess,
Yeah.
kind of. But this one, yeah, this is a genuinely terrifying villain in arms dealer Davian.
Absolutely. And I just think he kind of knows where to press Ethan Hunt, you know what I mean? Or just people in general. He's just a genuine psychopath. I think he's the best villain in my eyes. I know there's the newer guy with the beard who is like, the world must be cleansed and Ethan, you thought I was gone, but I'm back. That guy's fine. Like, I'm not against him.
Yeah.
But Phillip Seymore Hoffman, I think, is better. Ethan. He's in a straight jacket or whatever.
From time to time, I wish we had a camera in here so we could record that. Maybe we can do it later. You
Maybe,
record it
yeah.
again, we'll dub it over.
I'm already doing a reenactment,
Oh, that's
Mason.
true.
I'm doing
Well, that's your reenactment.
Aaron Paul's in this. I've written in all caps.
I've written it as well. Aaron Paul cameo. I've written, when did we have the last one of these on this channel? I think it might have been Birds of Prey, the TV series.
Oh, is this going to be a recurring thing?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. We could do a Price is Right episode where he shows up on that as well. Good cast in general. Billy Crudup, Maggie Q.
The second Billy Crudup shows up, though. You know what I mean? First of all, he's spending an awful lot of time in that convenience store because he's like, you know, the most important thing is family. And I'm like, I know you're crooked, Billy Crudup. from that line. And also, again, you are spending so much time in that convenience store. What are you doing? Staying away from your family? Sus. You're so sus,
Real
Billy
sus,
Crudup. You don't love your family at all.
If you even have one.
Your family's betrayal.
His family is probably just dwarves in masks that he parades around at the company picnics. He's a liar through and through, Mason, is what I'm
That's
saying.
right.
Yeah. First appearance of Simon Pegg as well. Becomes a staple of the franchise.
That's right, yeah. It's interesting who of the IMF force stays on between movies.
Isn't it just? Well, Tandy Newton was asked to return. The character that she was going to be was replaced by Carrie-Anne Moss, who and that character then was completely removed.
Huh.
So yeah, I thought, oh, it's Maggie Q, that character. No, they're not related. Because, you got to have one girl on the team, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
How these things
it's not
work.
a team without a girl. All teams in the world, in all forms of fiction involved, they need to have a girl. They need to have a nerd. They need to have Ving Rhames.
That's so true. And I'd like to see Lawrence Fishburne come back in these as well.
Yeah.
Because he's in it. And I guess he's the new Anthony Hopkins.
Well, there's a very high turnover of like IMF, the head of IMF,
Yeah.
president of IMF. You know?
But with the Alec Baldwin one, at least they shoot him. They kill him off.
At least they shoot
And at
him.
least they had the decency.
Yeah.
But this is just...
Maybe there's a deleted scene on every DVD. Or maybe they just bring in the previous IMF head,
Yeah,
like
right.
the actor, and just be like, can we do a scene where we shoot you in the head?
Yeah, that's fine.
I guess.
Ethan Hunt's parents are dead, maybe. Are they, though? Because he's living this suburban life and it plays into his hair. We're going to do a hair report at the end.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the question has to be asked. First of all, it was in the first movie, it was his mother and his uncle Donald. I just want to be clear because otherwise we'll get emails.
Did we get comments?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't read the comments.
Okay.
You'll get comments. But yeah, and in this, his fiance claims that his parents are dead also.
Yeah.
But he said a lot of things to her that were just flat out lies. Huh?
He said he was a...
Maybe Margaret Ethan Hunt is still alive out there somewhere.
She's out there.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Do you want that movie or
Maybe he's
prequel?
put her into witness protection as well.
Yeah, he probably would, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe he just shot her.
We did too much fun mother and son stuff and we got in the crosshairs of an international crime gang. So I've got to put you into witness protection, Mum.
You know what I like about this movie?
Yes.
It goes out of its way, and saying this, it sounds like something that you would hate.
Mm-hmm.
It goes out of its way to explain how things work.
Okay.
I'm talking specifically gadgets. So, for example, getting into the Vatican, he measures up the wall of how long it is, and then measures the drop from that as well.
No, I like that a lot.
He does the little camera trick with the little printer, and he puts it up.
That's right.
Puts it up.
With his Game Boy printer.
Yeah, that's right. He says at the top, Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Remember that bit?
Yeah. It's a code phrase, mate. You
Okay,
get it.
gotcha. Yeah.
I like a long extended discussion about how a heist is going to be pulled
Totally.
off. Yeah.
And that plays into the
Maggie Q, be sure to crash that Lamborghini.
which she did.
She did, yeah. Here's the footage.
Oh no!
Oh my God, that was expensive.
Yeah, probably.
How many did they get? 2 Lamborghinis?
I don't know. I guess actually they had a few. The one that they blew up, I think they had 3 or 4, but the one that they blew up was just a shell.
Ah, I see.
Not like a turtle shell, like the shell of a car.
Oh, I see.
Just to
Makes
clarify.
more sense.
Yeah, it totally does. But I like seeing that, when he's trying to figure out the building swing.
Yeah.
And he's drawing on the glass and he's like doing math and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, of course, because he's obviously not an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, he's a genius. He'd have to be.
That's right. Nobody gets on the IMF team unless they got the skills.
Yeah.
I mean, or they can somersault kick. MI2, Ethan Hunt would have just winged it, I think.
Oh, totally. Absolutely.
But again, there's been 6 years in between where presumably he's smacked face first into a lot of buildings on a rope.
But do you think, though, he is making those mental calculations every time? This is the first time we've seen them?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Good question. I mean, this time he's just got oceans of time. He's like, there's 2 hours before they kill my wife, so that's so much time. I can sit here and do this. I don't have to do it on the fly.
I'm having a nap. I'm going to watch an episode of Westworld with Tandy Newton, my
Maybe
co-star.
I'll watch an episode of Alias, that great spy TV series.
The other thing they sort out is the masks. I like the 3D printing.
It's the
idea.
first time we see how these masks work,
Yeah.
and why they are so flawless all the time.
And the voice modulator I enjoy as well. There's a bit of a weird switcheroo, and then the CGI when they're putting on the Phillip Seymore Hoffman mask.
Yeah, right.
Like, it doesn't, how does it really work? It's magic,
true,
obviously. Yeah. But, I appreciate that. I think, though, maybe one thing that this movie lacks is
Here we
there's
go.
not,
Here we go.
and there's not like a big thing, like a big real thing.
Uh-huh.
Like, there's the car smash, which he did for real on wires.
Yes.
But, like, the jump he does off the building, that's in a green screen area.
Yeah, right.
There's other bits and pieces that he does. The closest thing to something being super dangerous is where he jumps off the Vatican wall. He actually hits the ground.
Oh, does he? Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a nice little homage to the Langley heist from the first movie, I thought.
Yeah, and when I first saw that, I'm like, whatever. It's not as good as the Langley heist. But knowing that he actually hit the ground, that was actually quite dangerous.
I need a medic.
My face is okay, though. It's just my
right.
organs are mushed. Yeah, so, like, he doesn't strap himself to the side of a plane. He's not bungee jumping from a helicopter or whatever. You know what I mean?
But again, we're kind of regrouping for this franchise
Yes,
right now.
exactly.
We don't really know at this point that that's what the remaining movies are going to be.
No.
Just Cruise attempting to kill himself
But
constantly.
I think it's also a credit to this movie that despite not selling itself on the big thing, which a lot of the newer ones do, it's still good outside of that.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
It's very solid.
Yeah. I like the bit when he electrocutes himself to death and he bites the paddle pop sticks and you see them just like shatter in his mouth. That's good stuff. That's a nice attention to detail there.
Do you think they were pre-made to break and there was a stagehand on each side of him with a piece of string attached to one end of the paddle pop? Pulled them apart right at the correct
That's
time.
exactly what happened, yes.
I liked
Go on.
his delightful disguise when he was attempting to evade the IMF team and he becomes Mr. Mutton Chops going on a little trip. That's something I liked a lot.
From the Czech Republic,
That's
maybe?
right. And he's like, hey, it's me. I'm from Eastern Europe.
He's Borating it.
That's
yeah.
right.
Pre-Borat, maybe? Or same year as Borat at the very
Oh, who
least.
knows?
Maybe he'd seen an early
I gotta get some Borat in this.
Yeah, he would have seen an early cut of Borat.
Borat's got a wife. I've got a wife. Let's do this. My wife.
So there's also the sense in this movie that it's the end, right?
Yeah.
It's like, this is the trilogy.
Yep.
He walks off into the sunset.
He's got a beautiful wife that he's lied to for many months and years.
She's fine with
She's
it.
fine with it now, so don't even worry
I
about
like
it.
Michelle Monaghan. Do you really get that sense, like the walk away at the end? And
definitely.
He's like, goodbye, everybody.
Monaghan's getting hugs from everybody, including people she's never met.
Totally. And it's also because at that time, I think it was up in the air whether these movies were going to continue, or if they did continue, whether he'd be the lead.
I see.
There were unfounded rumors that Brad Pitt was going to take over, and it was going to be a whole different series of movies. And then every now and then they'll introduce a new character that are like, Jeremy Renner's the new...
Yeah, right.
Or John Rhys Meyers. Do you like him? Could he be the new Ethan
He could
Hunt?
be pretty good. Billy Crudup, we could take the bullets out of him, and maybe he could be the new guy. Come on.
Yeah. Do you think that that's maybe the direction they were thinking of going,
I'm thinking,
maybe?
yeah. I mean, this was also in an era where, generally speaking, you did not get 6 movies out of a franchise.
No.
Beyond the Police Academy series, of course.
Good movies.
Yeah. But I mean, a trilogy was what sold the DVD box set.
Yeah.
A trilogy was what people wanted. It felt like the natural progression of a series.
There'd only been a lazy 3 Fast and the Furious movies, and none of them were spin-offs. I guess Tokyo Drift, is that a spin-off? It doesn't really matter. 3 movies.
Sure.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. You like trivia, Mason?
I do like trivia.
Trivia! It's our favorite trivia section of the show. Trivia!
Go on.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember this, but Tom Cruise alleged...
For the audience, James called him Tom Cruise, and we're both scrambling to think of a joke.
This will be an extended
It's Blue's
audio.
Clues, but it's Tom Cruise. Ha ha ha.
So I don't know if you remember this at the time, but Tom Cruise allegedly threatened to cancel the publicity for the film if Comedy Central rebroadcasted the South Park Trapped in a Closet episode from 2005.
Was that Scientology based somehow?
It was satirizing Scientology and mocking Tom Cruise's sexuality. Apparently, the creators of South Park were approached by Comedy Central and told that the episode would be pulled off the air and that they were not to tell anybody that this is what happened.
Did they tell everybody?
Like, yes, I believe so, yeah.
Someone told somebody.
Yeah. Tom Cruise also, I think he's been asked about this since, and he's like, I don't know. He's like, I'm not on top of literally everything.
I mean,
so
it's also very possible,
it could be a publicist thing or a
Exactly,
studio
that happens
thing,
a lot of
yeah.
the time where people are like, do not look this star in the eyes.
Yeah.
And then you actually meet the star and they're like, I don't know. Why did they say that?
I think there was something...
You can only look at me in my eyes.
Yeah. I think there was something reported for Mission Impossible 2 in the Australian media that people weren't allowed to look Cruise in the eye, but it turned out that they're on a big open set, like in public, and people are like, can you not look directly at Tom Cruise because he's undercover and he's not really Tom Cruise? So it kind of, things can get spun out that way. Also, this is quite funny to me. To promote the film, Paramount rigged 4,500 randomly selected Los Angeles Times vending boxes with digital audio players, which would play the theme song when the door was opened. The audio players did not always stay concealed, however, and in many cases came loose and fell on top of the stack of newspapers in plain view. Remember newspapers? With the result that they were widely mistaken for bombs. Police bomb squads detonated a number of the vending machine boxes and even temporarily shut down a veterans hospital in response to the apparent threat. Despite these problems, Paramount and the Los Angeles Times opted to leave the audio players in the boxes until 2 days after the movie's opening.
Honestly, a series of exploding newspaper vending machine boxes is maybe the best publicity you could get.
Absolutely. That's great. Hair. We got to talk hair.
We got to talk hair.
Okay.
Before we talk hair, I just wanted a special shout out to the scene where Ethan Hunt as Davian does some very athletic leaping about while in disguise. I've written here more like Phillip Seymore Jumpman. R.I.P. Phillip Seymore Hoffman.
Philip Parker Hoffman. I'm trying to think if
Nice.
there's another. I mean, Jumpman's good.
Put it in the comments. Your best Phillip Seymore Hoffman leaping about pun. R.I.P.
Hoff the dome, kind of. I don't know. It's not working. I can't do it. It's hard. Hair report. So as people may know, we've been charting the evolution of the Ethan Hunt character in relation to his hairstyles in each movie.
I mean, some people would be like, why don't you chart the evolution of his character through his deeds or actions or emotional states or his relationships? We say, that's for losers. It's his hair or nothing.
So this is his, I'm living in the burbs, I'm a boring, everyday, bog-standard, middle-aged
that's
bloke
right.
haircut.
My fiance said, your hair's getting a little bit long, Tom Cruise. And
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I better go to the barber today.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to mow the lawn.
There are no questions about this hair.
that's
Like
true.
if he turned up with his Mission Impossible 2 hair, you'd be like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, this is spectacular, but I don't understand. Like, what's happening here? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. You would notice he would stand out with that hair.
That's true.
In a suburban environment. Imagine him mowing the lawn. with that hair
Oh,
flowing in the wind. Yeah.
You get caught in the blades, you know?
Yeah.
Especially if he somersaulted over the mower.
So, yeah, this is like the hair of a guy, like a boring bog standard guy who works in logistics who you don't really want to talk to.
That's right.
That being said, if you knew a man like this in real life who was 44, Tom Cruise was at the time, and he had hair like this, you'd be like, spectacular.
Oh, absolutely. And also, side note, we have right at the start of the movie, we'd have this lovely dinner party, this grown-up dinner party, very exciting, and people are like, traffic patterns, that's so boring. I'd be like, I know, I'm fascinated by this. Tell me more about the traffic ripple effect.
You think he wouldn't be ready for you?
Yeah.
He'd be drawing on glass in front of you,
That's
explaining it. That would be fascinating, actually.
Also.
What's Greg Grunberg's job in this? He's like
Right?
boring, big snooze. What are you contributing?
Yeah.
You're standing there listening. You gotta chip in. A conversation is two ways, Mason, is what I'm saying.
Maybe he has an even more exciting job.
Is that why?
Like maybe he's in the double impossible mission force.
Oh my goodness. So
We've never actually successfully achieved a mission. They're too impossible. But you know what we say? It's worth a try. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never know if you never go. Am I right?
So true, Mason.
Yeah.
Anything else to add before I do the stunt thing? Do you like his sunglasses? How about that?
I do like his sunglasses.
His
but
funeral sunglasses?
Yeah, I was going to say his funeral sunglasses, his funeral Oakleys. I like those. Those are pretty good. I liked it when he and Jonathan Rhys Meyers were just a couple of Italians running amok.
Oh
Thought
my
that was fun.
God.
Mamma mia.
Yeah.
Che bello, you know what I mean?
Totally. I love the interplay, though, between the team members. Like when they are printing the mask, but they're having a completely different conversation because they've done it so many times. Like they're talking about commitment and relationships and how they can't work when you're a spy and whatever. Because they're making these masks almost constantly. So it's nothing. They don't need to be like, oh my God, we got to get this. Like it's just like, this is nothing, whatever. Yeah. All right, Mason, it's time for the stunt. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Now, I just want to point out also, there was going to be a minor edit in this to make it all come together, but mostly seamless. You won't even be noticing. But it might be my best work yet. I say, having not done it at the time of recording this.
All right, now you want me to do two reactions for
Please,
you?
if you could.
Oh my God, you did it.
I did it.
You son of a bitch. And now here's the other one for when it goes really badly. Here lies James, Mr. Sunday Movies. And I must say, over all the years, he's certainly a man I've met. Anyway, there's sandwiches in the hall, so let's go, folks. Let's not make this a negative day.
That's handy because if you do speak at my funeral, you can just play that.
Yeah, right? I
You don't even have to get up. You'd probably be too emotional to show up, though, I'd imagine, don't you think? You'd probably be too emotional, Mason.
I mean, yeah, but I could take the day and go to like a skee ball arcade.
That's true. You could tell people you were going to my funeral and take a day off work. That's
right.
Perfect.
You could also play that at my funeral. Just edit my name to it.
So, look, we will be coming back to these. We're saving them for the next Mission Impossible movie. 6 in a row is quite a lot. We did
That's
5
right.
for Transformers and we nearly died.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the next 3 are, I would say, more consistent.
Yes.
Like they've got a more consistent style. I think the quality is maybe a little up and down, but I think they're all generally very good.
And I can't wait to chart the evolution of that hair because believe me, mate, I've got things to say. I've already lined things up, ready to go.
And James, I've already built a slightly malfunctioning set of suction pads so you can attempt to climb the tallest building in the world as part of the stunt.
Terrific. I don't know what I'm going to do for that one. I thought I might maybe try and beat his speed if I can run 100 meters quicker than him.
Yeah,
I don't think I can. But
we should have mentioned there's also there's some great running in this.
I was
going to
say, if there is a big thing that happens in this, it's the big run, right? I'm glad you brought that up because this kind of solidified wait, has Tom Cruise been running all this time? We haven't even been noticing all the time? Yeah. So, thank you for bringing that up because believe me, comments are go-go. All right, next week, here's a hint towards what we're doing. Towards? I don't know what we're doing. Wonder Woman and some other things got pushed back. Who knows, Mason? I don't know. It's the Wild West out here.
Oh my God, we're drowning here, but we're going to cut this out of the video, aren't we?
For the video, you're going to say, oh my God, that looks amazing.
Oh.
And then we'll know.
Oh my God, that looks amazing.
What a good choice, right?
Yeah, good
choice. We
choice.
knew before recording this, didn't
we? We know things.
All right. Also, if you want to see any of these videos early, you can actually go to bigsandwich.com and sign up. They're always there early. The extended audio is also there early.
We got bonus podcasts there early. I mean, the regular time that they come out.
Ad-free feed for that podcast as well.
Movie commentaries.
A comic book club. There's too many things, if anything. The value is too good and too great. It's overwhelming.
That's right.
Like a Tom Cruise conversation. It's too much.
You'll pay for it and you'll be like, there's too much content here. I shan't download any of it. And that's how we win.
That's what we want.
That's right.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching this, though. We really appreciate it.
And as we say every week over here at this video,
Whatever this is.
As we say every week, see you in the sewer. Big Graham says it at some point.
I didn't notice.
Pretty good.
Quotes aren't getting as I would have gone with the Humpty Dumpty one, but
Oh yeah, that would work too. Yeah,
no,
yeah.
see you in the sewer is good because that's more apt to what we do here.
It really is.
See you in the sewer. Ugh.
Ugh.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
I mean, if you want. It's up to you.